Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be going over with you the strategy that I'll be using to pass the FTMO challenge that I'll be doing with you guys as well later on. But just before we begin, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like. Okay, so you might be wondering, why is there a blank TradingView screen here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the absolute basics of what we're looking for every time we come to trade the London session, the New York session, or the Asian session, and what setups we will be looking for in order to take a trade. Okay, so when we come to the charts every morning or every afternoon or every evening, depends where you are, what time zone you're in for what session you're trying to trade, we will see that price pre-session, so pre, for example, London Open, price will be in a range. So we should see something very similar to this. So price is ranging like this, right? And all we're simply looking for is a breakout to either the upside and then a retest, or a breakout to the downside and then a retest. And now this retest is very important because it signifies to us, it confirms to us whether price is going to continue in that direction or not. So is price going to continue upwards, or is price going to continue downwards like that? And that's what we're looking for. That is literally the strategy I am going to be using. Now let's add some context to this. So obviously not all the time are we going to come to a session and pre-session we are in a range like this. Sometimes we may be trending, but I will be going over what we do in those circumstances later on. So focusing on what we can see on the screen at the moment, what we are looking for is we are looking for candle confirmations once price breaks up, forms a high and pulls back for a retest. When it retests this range, it tells us that price is forming a support ready to move higher. So as we know that price moves in higher highs and higher lows, so we are trying to get a confirmation of a new higher low ready to make a new higher high. And so we at this stage over here, so I can highlight that for you with this. So at this stage over here, we are looking for price to confirm a support, and once we have a nice bullish candle at this stage, we will take a buy. So once we take a buy, we are looking for our first target to be around here. So our first target will be here with our stops below the confirmation candle's low. So let's say the confirmation candle's low is like 10 pips, and that's about 21 pips. Then that will be our first target, and we can leave a runner to continue on with the price action and the trend moving to the upside. So that's what we are sort of looking for in a upside breakout. So let's have a look at what we'll be looking for in a downside breakout. So for a downside breakout, what we're looking for is we are looking for something very similar to what we looked at before. We are looking at candle confirmations as price retests the previous support as resistance. So we need to find a resistance being formed at this stage, and then we will be looking to short it like so. So wherever we have a candle, a confirmation candle, we will be looking to take a short trade with stops just above that candle. So let's say 10 pips again, and we would be looking to take our trade to around here first, because we know that price can form a support here, and likewise in the other example, price can form a resistance here and push down. So we're just making sure that we are getting the right targets in place first, and then we can leave runners on to continue to the downside. So as you can see, fairly simple. It does sound really easy, and that's all it is. That's what I'll be looking for every single day when it comes to the FTMO challenge that I will be doing, and what sort of trades I'll be looking to take. Now obviously I will be doing this on the London session. It's a session that I'm familiar with. You can apply this to the New York session and the Asian session as well, and it will work perfectly fine. So now that we have covered candle structure, let's see what we are looking for in terms of time frames for this breakout and retest strategy to work. So we want this to happen on the 30-minute time frame. So that is a strong confluence for us to take a trade. So if we see a candle confirmation on a 30-minute time frame, we are more likely to take the trade, because higher time frames mean higher probabilities that our price action will follow our strategy. The lowest time frame that I will be using is the 15-minute time frame. So if we go to the 15-minute time frame, that is the lowest time frame that I will be using for confirmations, for confluences to take a trade. Now obviously the 1 hour will be a better confluence as well, but for the strategy it relies on the 30-minute, the 15-minute and the 1 hour to be in the same direction, to all have the same confluences. So just for your information, we've gone over the market structure and candle structure we're looking for. We've gone over the time frames that we will be trading the candles off of. Now what pairs does this work on? So this works on every single pair known to man. The reason why is because this is how market structure moves and how markets and price action work. And so it works with any commodity, any currency pair, or any indice that you are looking to trade. Okay, so now let's get straight into an actual live example of this trade working out. So what we'll be doing is I will be going over GBP JPY and showing you previous examples of this happening and working, and how we could have taken a trade and why we would have been profitable. So let's have a look here. So because I'm trading the London session, I come to the charts at 6:30. So at 6 to 6:30, so at this candle close over here, and we can see we have a previous structure. Now obviously this is a trending market. We can see prices trending downwards, and we would plot our support and resistance zones first. So we do that by looking at where did price form a support. So we had a support over here prior to the London session, pre-London, sorry, and we had a resistance over here. Now again, we are looking for price to break it, and it breaks it over here, it retests it over here, and it rejects over here. So we have our confirmations already here to take a trade. Now obviously price over here looks a bit different. So price didn't go all the way down and form a low and come and retest. So what we could have done is we could have taken a trade as price broke this sort of minor, very minor support here. So we would look to take an entry on this candle over here. So that will look like this. Our stop will be above this candle's high, as so, and we will be looking to take price down, and we will be looking to see where we have a support. So we can see that we have a wick to the left hand side that we'll be looking to fill, and we can target the bottom of that wick, and we can see we would have made around 20 pips on this trade. Okay, so for my second example of a buying opportunity, what we can do is I can show you this on a different pair. So let's have a look at gold. So gold on the 30-minute time frame, we can see we were at a resistance over here. So prior resistance, now support has been broken. So sometimes you're not going to come into a market where it's already ranging and you're looking for a breakout. You could see that a breakout might have happened just before pre-London, and this is what we're looking at. So we can see price has broken out and it's retesting it at the time we come to the market. And you know, markets are not always straightforward, they change, and so you have to adapt your trading style to that. So let's have a look what happens. Price breaks, retests, and we get a nice confirmation candle telling us that support has formed, and now price should start to push upwards, and we can take a trade as such, like this. Stops just below this candle with a target in mind of around here for your first target, and then price pushing up with runners running, and we can see that this trade would have been very successful going forward. And obviously again, if you haven't got targets, so for example this target wasn't such a strong target, we'll look left to see right where was our resistances. So we have a resistance over here, so that would have been our first target. So let's have a look over here. There, nice and easy, clean candles, nice resistance targets, and then we have a second target of around here, which we can see price came and hit, and then it was reacted to. So this strategy is very simple, very easy to do, very good to implement, because it only means you're trading for about 3 hours a day during the London session. So for example, myself, I trade from I make sure I'm on the charts for 6:30, ready to take a trade at 6:30, all the way to about 9:30, and I tend not to take a trade after 9 o'clock, but if there is a very good setup and it looks really, really good, then I will take it. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you the validity of this trading strategy. So let's have a look. So let's have a look at January, how that's fared for me so far. So week 1 I didn't take any trades because there's not enough momentum and volume in the market, and when that is the case, the price tends to move very erratically. So I skipped week 1 and I went into the trading mode in week 2. So we can see that week 2 I ended up with 3.7% positive, which is great. Week 3 I was 4.44%, which is very good as well, and week 4 was 1.8%. so you can see that sometimes you do get trades, sometimes you don't get trades, but this strategy, if you stick to it and use it properly and add a trading plan around it, you will be successful. So let's have a look at how February so far has fared for me. So week 1 I broke even. I think it was about a negligible loss or a negligible win. I can't remember. I lost my first trade that I took, and then my second trade I won it back. So I lost about 10 pips first trade, made about 10 pips second trade, so that sort of cancelled it out. Week 2 we can see I made 3.99% on the for the week, which was a very good week again, about 4%. Week 3 of February we have made 3.65% using this strategy, which is very good. And week 4 we've made about 4.1%. So now in terms of FTMO, doing the FTMO challenge, your first part of the challenge is to make 10%, and the second part of the challenge is to make 5%. So we can see that, you know, if I was doing the FTMO challenge, for example, in February, you know, week 1 would have been nothing, would have been a slow week. Week 2, 4%. Week 3, that's about 3.65%, and by week 4 made about 4.1%. So if we were doing the FTMO challenge, we can clearly see that we would have passed the first phase in February, for example, if we started in February. So this strategy is very promising. I've been using it for a while now. I've improved it as I've gone along, and I think that you guys should use it if you are thinking about doing the FTMO strategy. Obviously, wait for my other videos to come out where there are more. There is more detail to this strategy. This is not the only video. So make sure to subscribe, turn those post notification button on so you are notified when I release the next few videos of this FTMO strategy series I'm releasing. Smash that like button, and I will see you in the next video.